All right. So if you want a title for this, if anyone wants to take notes on this, I would say being a light in the darkness. And what I want to start off with is that negativity is everywhere you turn. It's on social media, it's everywhere on the news. I guarantee that you have been around people in school who are complaining about teachers, stress, homework load. If you have a job, no doubt people have been complaining about their coworkers, their bosses, stress again. It's everywhere. And I am like 99.9% sure every single one of you has been in that position as well, where you were the one who was negative. But I want you all to strive to overcome the negativity, because negativity can be so infectious. This darkness can envelop you. But positivity and happiness can also be infectious as well. I am wanting y'all to be a light in the darkness. And so the verse I would like to preach to y'all over is Matthew 5:14 through 16, which says, "You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a bushel, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." You represent God with every single thing you say, every single thing you do, and your attitude, because you call yourself Christian. You put on the name of God. It is then attached to yourself. And the way I would like to go on with this is I want to tell y'all about my last 2 weeks at work. It has been insanely stressful because Valentine's Day weekend is a really difficult time for restaurants, or stressful time for restaurants, and I work as a waitress. And I work at this place called Eclair Bistro, and it's a fairly fancy place, so there are a lot of people who like to come in and, get their fancy food on these dates, and there have been so many people. And with stress can come a lot of negativity. And some people in general will want to spread that negativity just because they are feeling negative. And I had a coworker that did that on 2 weeks ago. And he literally went from person to person complaining, and I don't even know what about, because thankfully he did not come to me. But these past 2 weeks, I have prayed before every single time I went into work. I prayed for positivity. I prayed to be stress-free. I prayed that I'd be able to handle everything. I prayed that I'd make money. I prayed that the restaurant would make money. And from then, I was less stressed than I had ever been before in a situation like that. And I could handle so many more tables than I had previously. And it was incredible. And so God is greater than any circumstance that you are in. He has given you a light to be greater than that circumstance as well. And the way to do that is you stand on God's promises. And people notice whenever you act positive in a room full of darkness. And the way I can guarantee this for you, I was, once again, way more positive than any of my coworkers, any of them. And the last week, Valentine's Day weekend, the busiest week of the last 2 weeks, I ended up getting a check that was more than any of my other coworkers. And it was the biggest check that any of them had ever seen. And it was just a little below $1,000 in 1 week. 1 week. It was insane. Thank you. Drop the mic. Yeah. But the point I want to make is that people notice whenever you are positive and that you are taking charge and you are standing on God's promises, and they see when you are trying hard and that when you rise above everyone else. And apparently, I've been getting name dropped in reviews, all positive, more than any other server. And in the short time that I've worked here, and it's, once again, people notice. And while I'm completely positive and there's so much negativity, it shows what message are you showing to those who don't even know Christ. I have a coworker who is not Christian, and he was going through a really tough time within those 2 weeks, and I asked him, can I pray for you? And he said, yeah, sure, I'd like that. Then after, I asked him, can I pray with you? And he said, oh, yeah, sure, I would like that too. And I prayed for him, and he later told me, no one has ever prayed with me before. How affected could he be by that if I had been negative the entire time and just was like, oh, I'll pray for you? Well, what's he going to think? I mean, you're like this. How can your God make me feel any better if you're always like this? That's why you have to be positive, is because, once again, you are a representation of God and what he does. And what he does for you, if you can stand on that and you can stand on his promises of being positive and being happy, you are going to shine that light to everyone else around you, and you will bring people closer to Christ, if not to Christ. And so, how do you do that? You use your words. You use words to uplift. And you trust that God is backing you up every step of the way and will keep you stress-free and positive. And I think what Pastor Alex preached today in this morning service, he talked about opportunity, and that darkness is, the more darkness there is, the greater the opportunity there is for God to give that miracle. And you can be that miracle. So in that darkness, your light can shine brighter than the darkness around you. So always keep that in mind whenever you're in a negative environment. If you are positive and if you shine that light of God, people are going to notice you, and good things are going to happen to you. And because of your positivity, good things are going to happen to other people. Positivity, light can be infectious. So be a light.